Hey there, I'm Jen, and on the table today I have the TCX Blend 2 waterproof women's boots. Now, these boots are the next generation of a really popular boot, the TCX Blend, and that's these guys here. So I'm gonna put them right up here side by side. Now there's gonna be a lot of similar features. Of course, they're both still over the ankle protective boots, but as you can see, there's gonna be some differences in the styling here in the next generation. So we're gonna cover all that and more in the 360 overview. But what's important is the price is staying the same. So at $230, these boots will ship to you for free. And as always, our price match policy is in place to guarantee you the lowest price available. Now, when it comes to sizing, I normally wear a size 38 in European boots, and that is a size that fits me in the TCX Blend 2 as well. So if you know your European sizing, go ahead and order the size you would normally wear. If you're not sure about your European sizing and you're looking at the sizing chart, what the 38 says for US women's is 6.5. Now, I'm normally a US women's 7. Our recommendation is go one size down from that US size. All right, so let's go ahead and take a 360 overview of the TCX Blend 2 boot. I'm going to start you in the front here, and we're going to take a look at this lacing system. Very different from last year's, and honestly, a very different solution that I've seen in most boots. So what TCX is trying to achieve here is they're going to limit the exposure of the laces to the controls on your motorcycle. I don't know if this happened to you guys, but I've definitely had this happen before to me, is these loops and these laces can get caught in your motorcycle and make for some really embarrassing moments on your bike. If TCX really wants to be true to hiding these laces and keeping them out of the way, I think a little retention strap here for the knot up here would be a welcome addition as well. But that's what they're trying to do with this unique lacing system. Now, as we come into the toe box area, it is a reinforced toe. You can see here, very rigid on the tippity toe, and then it gets a little bit softer here, moving on into the rest of the toe box. Now, these boots have what I call a symmetric shifter pad solution. So you're gonna have this little piece of leather on both sides of the boots in the pair. And I do like in this year's edition, TCX has worked in the shifter pad into the overall design of the boot instead of just making it a kind of a random piece of leather that comes on top. They've really incorporated it into the full pattern. Nice to see. Now, on the side view, I want to talk about the main construction material happening here. So TCX is using a brushed Dakar buffalo leather, and that's going to give it this touch and feel. So last year's leather was a little bit more of a glossy finish, whereas this year's is, that brushed leather. So it's softer, almost suede-like. So it's something to bear in mind as you compare the two. And then also the difference in color. So I would say this year's edition is a little bit more of a chestnut brown, whereas last year's was more of a chocolate brown. All these things to keep in mind as you're shopping this pair of boots. Something else you're gonna notice about this side view is that TCX is using a hidden seam, whereas on the last year's edition, it's a lot of a traditional exposed seam. So again, that's just gonna make for a different styling and look on this boot. Again, it's up to you, the riders, to decide if that's something you're into. But as we look at the ankle system here, you have the ankle cups for reinforcement. And as we come down into the bottom part of the boot, into the sole, it's gonna be a very similar sole. It's kind of the same shape and feel. It still has that 1.5-inch lift to it, but it's gonna be a little bit stiffer because what TCX is using now is their Groundtrax system. I'm gonna give you a quick view of the bottom here. And inside here, the reinforced shank is their Z shank. And that's what's gonna give us what we call a 6 out of 10 on the flex scale. I'm gonna go ahead and give that some movement there. So it's pretty stiff, this boot. A lot of riders liked this boot because it's still really comfortable, and I would say I've tried these on, walked around in them, and the OrthoLite liner in there really helps keep that comfort intact. Now, as we look at the back side of the boot, there is a reinforced heel cup here for protection. And then some additions I'd like to see in future iterations of the Blend is a pull tab here for easy on and off, especially a lace system style of this boot. A little something extra to grab is handy, and a little reflective bit would be nice for visibility as well. Last view of the inside of the boot, and this is when I want to talk about the waterproof liner. So TCX is using a T-dry system, and that comes up to about the second eyelet, so like right here. So if you're looking for a true watertight fit, you want to keep your feet nice and dry, just make sure that your waterproof pant is giving you extra coverage in that kind of empty area that doesn't have the T-dry liner. All right, and so that's going to do it. That's your 360 overview of the TCX Blend 2 waterproof women's boots. Again, this has been an extremely popular boot because of its protective features, because of its styling, because of its price point. All TCX has done here is slightly updated the look and feel of it. Now, if you have more questions about the Blend 2 boots, go ahead and hit the info button on your desktop or mobile device. It's going to redirect you to the product page where you can see more product features, different colorways, and read some reviews from riders like yourself. And if you have even more questions, give our customer service a call. They're going to be happy to help you find a riding boot that best suits your needs. All right, well, thanks for hanging out as we take a closer look at the TCX Blend 2 waterproof women's boots. I'm Jen, keep it on 2.